Fill in the blank. The quarterbacks who are better than Justin Fields rest of season are blank.
Would it be weird for me to say the number is bigger now than it was yesterday?
It would be, yeah.
I think it's true. Part of the great appeal to Justin Fields was that this schedule that he had over the next month. The Detroit Lions, a big part of that. What's Justin Fields' remaining schedule now on a week-by-week basis? Do you have that up?
Yeah.
Because it's
I know. I
don't think it's very
Atlanta.
good.
It's Atlanta.
Yep, great.
Jets. Packers. Bye. Eagles. Bills. Lions. This is a guy who has scored 40-plus points 2 games in a row. He hit 43 or more 2 games in a row. Now 30 or more 3 games in a row. Now 25 or more 4 games in a row, including against Dallas and New England. New England's not super tough, but
so I will say
matter?
Definitely Josh Allen, definitely Patrick Mahomes, definitely Jalen Hurts. And I would bet on Tua and Lamar as well.
But he's got to be right there, right? He's got to be in the 5-6 range at worst.
Justin Herbert's looking pretty good right now against fantastic defense with no wide receivers. If you told me Mike Williams and Keenan Allen are 100% next week for the rest of the season, then maybe Herbert.
That's actually true. Herbert has an amazing schedule. I do push back on the Niners being a fantastic defense. They have not been the same without Mosley, but we will see. We will see. This game's just 7-0 now. DeAndre Carter just got a touchdown. Heath made a great call on DeAndre Carter this week. All right, bottom line is Fields is awesome. And I guess to wrap it up, we're running out of time to sell here, obviously. Trade deadline's approaching. But with that schedule, with the Packers and the Jets and a bye week and the Eagles and the Bills, sell or hold Justin Fields?
I wonder, after a little bit of a poor performance and the injury reports, poor fantasy performance and the injury reports, if you could turn Justin Fields into Josh Allen.
Other than that, though, I mean,
right.
He's not
if I could turn him into Lamar and a starter,
yeah,
I would do that.
Okay. But we're buying him.
Yeah. I think he's going to be a top 7 quarterback the rest of the season.
All right, the Week 10 performance I'm not buying is blank.
Ooh. I appreciate you sending me this one so that I could be prepared.
I got a good one that I can throw at you.
You go first. Okay. I never go first. I'm missing Dave right now.
It's one of your winners.
Okay.
Cole Kmet.
Okay.
4 catches, 74 yards, 2 touchdowns on 7 targets, had a 50-yard touchdown. To his credit, I think Justin Fields is so hard to defend that you are seeing wide open receivers. The defense is just being confused. But I just don't think there's enough volume. I don't think there's enough passing yards for me to believe Kmet is a weekly starter. He's 64% rostered and 49% started. So that's the one I'm not buying.
Yeah, I think it's different because I put him as a winner because I wasn't ready to start him this week because it was only one game this season with more than 4 targets. That's just not enough for me. Now it's back-to-back games with at least 6 targets. I feel a little bit better about him going up against Atlanta next week. I'm going to probably rank him as a top 10 tight end. So that makes him a winner. I'm not so sure that he's going to be fantastic, though, as the schedule turns, which is something we've talked about. Yeah. I think the performance I'm not buying is Darius Slayton. And I know he was one of Dave's winners. And he looked really fast on that touchdown. I do want to give him credit for that because I had not seen Darius Slayton run that fast. But he had 3 catches on 4 targets. And this is going to be one of the lowest pass volume teams in the NFL.
It's exactly the same thing as Kmet to me, except Kmet plays tight end, so it's easier to buy in.
Right.
Right. I always have trouble buying into a Giants receiver. I guess the thing for Slayton is let's look at the last 4 games now. 5 games, 13.9, 2.8, 14.8, 11.6, and 18.5 PPR fantasy points. So that is now 4 of his last 5 games with 11.6 or more, 3 of his last 5 games with 13.9 or more PPR fantasy points. But I'm with you. I mean, I just have so much trouble buying into teams that throw for like 180 yards a game.
Yeah.
All right. So the must-start player who struggled in Week 10 that I'm most worried about is blank.
Well, I suppose that it wouldn't be good to say Cooper Kupp.
You need me to go again? You need me to go first?
No, I think he's not like he wasn't quite must start this week, but he has been all season before this week, and it was coming off of a positive report. DeAndre Swift, and
Okay.
and it was actually one of my believe it or nots that I think he's just a flex at best now. I ranked him as a top 20 running back because it was a fantastic matchup, and Dan Campbell said he was doing better. They took him off of the injury report, wasn't on the injury report coming into this game, and just. Not only the fact that they aren't giving him very many touches, and they're playing a 3-back system with Justin Jackson basically playing as much as DeAndre Swift, but he's not really doing anything to make them want to change that.
He scores every game.
But he had 6 yards, right?
Yeah. He had 12, 6 rushing, 6 receiving. Yeah. I mean, I could last week he had 3 catches for 40 yards. The week before that, he had 5 catches, 27 yards, and a touchdown. I think he's been pretty good in the passing game. But I mean, it is really interesting. He keeps getting you something, but it's on such limited work. And they get the Giants defense.
Well, he didn't give us anything last week, did he?
Gave us 14.3 PPR fan. No, that was 2 weeks ago. He gave us 8 PPR fantasy points. He had 50 yards and 3 catches, 50 total yards. But I think he was tackled at the 1-yard line last week.
Well, you can't count on a guy who's getting 8 touches a week to score every week. I know he's done it a lot, but you can't count on that.
Hey, Davey.
What's up, gentlemen? Hey, is Charles Woodson or Lincoln Kennedy going to be the next head coach of the Raiders now? After Jeff Saturday proved that you don't need coaching experience to be a halfway decent coach in the NFL?
You don't need coaching experience to beat the Raiders.
That's true.
How
but they play the Broncos next week, and you don't need coaching experience to beat them either, I would guess.
Well, no, the Raiders play the Broncos.
Yeah. So that's they.
So let's see who coaches worse between McDaniels, if he's still there, or Hackett, if he's still there.
All right, let's get back on track.
Coaches for 1 week just for fun.
Let's get back on track here. Heath says he's worried about DeAndre Swift. Dave, I don't know if you have a fill-in-the-blank answer, but the must-start player who struggled in Week 10 that you're most worried about is blank. All right, I'll go just to keep.
Go ahead, and now I'll think about it. Yeah,
Chris Olave is my.
That's a good one. He's on my loser list.
I'll call him a flat. I mean, look, I'm not dropping him. He's still great player, but he's more of a low-end number 2, number 3 receiver. I can't consider him a must-start anymore. It's just he's only had one big game yardage-wise with Dalton, and Dalton's, I think, hurting him a lot. So, Olave for me. All right, why don't we go to the next one? Dave, this one should be easy.
I'm ready for fill in the blank if you want one.
You can do our last fill in the blank. Ready?
Sure.
I've had enough of blank.
Deontay Johnson, once and for all. He comes back off the bye. We'll see what this offense looks like without Chase Claypool. He sees, 5 targets, something like that? It was low. And he had 10 PPR fantasy points again. Pickens schemed up at the goal line. Pickens with a nice catch downfield. Steelers' run game comes alive a little bit more. I can't trust. You're going to hear me say I can't trust a lot of guys. But we're heading into the point of the season where I need guys who I can trust in my lineup, as many as I can find. Deontay Johnson does not make that list. Not for me.
Heath, I've had enough of blank. Don't say Adam.
Kareem Hunt. This is another one of my believe it or not. I'm just throwing them all out, but we can't use them all. So I'm not saying that I'm going to drop Kareem Hunt, but I want to. I want to spike drop him. And again, kind of like the DeAndre Swift situation, I would like to see Kareem Hunt get more work. I can't make any argument for why the Browns should give Kareem Hunt more work.
Yeah.
These
Isn't
two,
it weird how
when they were at their best, it was like, man, they have 2 of the best running backs in the NFL. Now they've got an elite starting running back and a pretty good backup.